What's happening to the tourism in Las Vegas?
I'm here at the Wynn at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, and let me tell you, it's dead in Vegas.
Why is Vegas so empty right now? Let's talk about the fact that nobody is vacationing in Vegas right now. Mind you, when I go to Vegas, it's always crowded. It's always packed. The strip is crazy. There are videos around right now showing Vegas empty.
Alright, we're in Vegas. This is supposed to be the city that never sleeps.
Look at that.
But there's like literally no one around here at all. And on all of our walks pretty much tonight, we've seen nobody.
Right now, some troubling signs for our local economy. Chances are you or someone you know works in the hospitality industry, but tourism numbers show a continued decline right here in Southern Nevada, and that dip in visitors is causing a big concern for many Valley workers.
This decline in tourism, if it continues, will lead to state budget cuts. The state's economy is heavily centered around tourism, and the less tourism we have, the less money we then have to be able to spend on essential goods and services.
Las Vegas tourism is suffering. Therefore, the state of Nevada is suffering, especially also Reno is a gaming town. Used to say everybody had a love for America, and now a lot of them don't. In less than 7 months, Donald J. Trump, the one person alone, has destroyed America. We are on a worldwide boycott for tourism as well as goods. Nevada voted red. Las Vegas is blue. But as you know, we will all suffer the consequences of MAGA voters and Donald J. Trump.
Hi everyone, I'm walking here the Las Vegas Strip, which is always a beautiful spot, right? Like just look at it. This is such a historic avenue. 40 million tourists every year. But these tourists are struggling, and they are even evading Las Vegas right now. Why? Because they feel that the prices have gone up and the experience has gone down. Question is, guys, will Vegas hit a recession? Will a recession hit Las Vegas? And will it need a reset?
The state of Nevada is having a major FAFO moment thanks to Donald Trump. Nevada voted for Donald Trump this past election, and now Las Vegas is seeing a huge drop in tourism due to the uncertainty around Trump's economy.
What's up, America? The city of Las Vegas is starting to die. So tourism in the city of Las Vegas is down around 50% as to any other time in the last decade. Workers are also saying that their tips are down about 50%, which is to be expected. Workers in the city of Las Vegas are blaming a sharp drop in visitors, and it's left them with few options to get tips. On top of fewer customers coming into Las Vegas, they're also seeing stagnant or lower pay. Now, no tax on tips is a wonderful thing if you get fucking tips, but if you're not getting tips, who gives a fuck? So apparently rising costs at hotels and restaurants, the economy in general where people just don't have money to blow it on shit, and of course apparently a political boycott of the city. I didn't know that was a thing. Now workers in Las Vegas are pointing to Donald Trump, saying that international visitors haven't been coming here because of him. So as you know, here's Fremont Street in Las Vegas, and we're starting to get more images looking like this more and more. So it looks like we all need some disposable income coming into our pockets. What the
Las Vegas tourism is collapsing, and nobody saw this coming, especially the MAGA nation, because they thought that the United States was the most powerful economy in the world, and everybody elsewhere was actually, envying the United States and Americans. But what they did not actually think is that the United States itself actually does depend a lot on, the world and the global economy, especially tourists coming from outside America in places like Canada and Europe. Guess what? Canadians ain't coming for summer holidays anymore, and Las Vegas is feeling the pain. Europeans are not coming for summer holidays anymore. Las Vegas is feeling the pain. Once the most glittering playground in the world, Las Vegas is facing its darkest summers in years. In June 2025, the city suffered an 11% drop in visitors. Nearly 400,000 fewer people were visiting the city than, the years before, making a sharp sudden decline, in visitors and in tourism. International travel is collapsing. Union leaders blame restrictive immigration policies and a mounting Trump slump that's pushing away vital visitors from Canada and Europe. Yeah, we told you so. This is exactly what you wanted. This is exactly what you voted for. You actually effed around, and now you're finding out a lot of MAGA voters, in Las Vegas are losing their jobs because, hotel industry, the hospitality industry is having to lay off, thousands and thousands of people because there's no tourists actually coming in. The city is losing billions and billions in tourism. What's going to happen to Las Vegas, because the city highly depends on tourism for its economy? Let's check out the videos that I have compiled for you. Let me know your opinions in the comment section down below, guys. I'm your presenter, Joel Mugisha. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. Hit that like button. Let's take a look at these videos that I have compiled for you. I'll be back with more commentary.
The state of Nevada is having a major FAFO moment thanks to Donald Trump. Nevada voted for Donald Trump this past election, and now Las Vegas is seeing a huge drop in tourism due to the uncertainty around Trump's economy. Employees in Las Vegas who heavily depend upon tips have said that their income has dropped as much as 50%. Las Vegas's airport has seen a 4% drop in traffic this year. Donald Trump praised not taxing tips, but if you're not making them, then it doesn't make any difference. History has shown us time and time again, when people are uncomfortable with the economy, they don't tend to spend money on unnecessary items like vacations. They certainly don't spend money on gambling. Locals have described Las Vegas as of recently like a ghost town on the Strip. And while Vegas is experiencing this, they're certainly not the only destination. The state of Hawaii is also seeing a significant drop in the number of tourists choosing to vacation.
Have you heard about this? Why is Vegas so empty right now? Why is no one vacationing in Las Vegas right now? Mind you, when I travel to Vegas, it's always jam-packed. The Strip is always hopping. Things are popping. Things are happening. People are just everywhere. But there are videos that are circulating all over that are showing Vegas and the Vegas Strip empty. Could it be the fact, with all the issues that planes have been having lately and all the wildfires we've been experiencing, could that be playing a role as to why Vegas is empty? Take a look at this video.
All right, we're in Vegas. This is supposed to be the city that never sleeps.
Look at that.
But there's like literally no one around here at all. And on all of our walks pretty much tonight, we've seen nobody. So, I don't know. Is Vegas slowly dying out?
Did you all hear what's going on in Las Vegas? Hotel occupancy is way down, nearly 15% lower than last year. And even casinos, I guess, aren't pulling the crowds like they used to. The average room price dropped to $163 a night. Buffets are going to run you about $100. Heck, a cup of coffee is going to be $9. And resort fees are draining people's wallets. One tourist flat out said Vegas isn't even fun anymore. Casinos are cutting costs, workers are making less, and get this, tipped staff say they are earning 50% less than before. Even international travel is down. Canadian visitors, that alone dropped nearly 20%, and overall global travel to Vegas is lagging really bad thanks to rising costs, political tensions, stricter entry fees. Vegas allegedly is shifting towards high-end luxury, but in doing so, it might have priced out the very people who made it iconic in the first place. So here's my question. Is Las Vegas dying? Has it lost its fun, its charm, its edge? Or is it just too expensive now? Would you still visit based on the prices that you're hearing and what it's going to cost you to go? And if you do, what would you bring back? Or have you already moved on? Drop your thoughts below. Appreciate you.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. So it does appear that the first city that's going to hit the trifecta in this administration's economy is going to be Las Vegas. Now, Las Vegas is seeing a tremendous drop in their tourism. Like, we're talking double-digit drops to where Vegas had gotten real expensive, and I think a lot of people are already starting to not go there. But now, with the way things are, and they don't have the money to go, they're not going to Las Vegas. Also, the unemployment rate in Las Vegas is higher than it's been in a very long time. So the jobs are not there for people when they do lose their job, and lots of the hotels and casinos have laid people off. And then the trifecta is the housing prices. Now, this is the one thing that can be good for some people. This will be to where the prices of homes are dropping tremendously in Las Vegas. If it's anything like it was back in 2010, 11, 12, when you could go out there and buy homes for almost nothing, I don't think it'll get that way again, but you're looking at home prices dropping by tens of thousands of dollars recently, because the number of listings in Las Vegas is triple the normal amount. So tourism has stopped or slowed down. You've got unemployment at its highest and homes being listed, thousands of them on the market, and house prices coming down. So Las Vegas has won that trifecta of economic decline.
So it was reported yesterday that apparently Las Vegas has seen an 11% revenue loss since the beginning of the year. And I have heard people talking about the fact that they've been going to Vegas and that it's not as busy as what it usually is, and prices have gone up. So you got to wonder if there's like two factors that are affecting this. One, you of course obviously have the reduction in tourism because of what is happening in the United States. Like, a lot of people from Canada and the rest of the world are looking at what's going on with ICE and tariffs and everything else, and it's just sitting there going, no, I don't feel like going to the United States. I don't feel safe to go to the United States. So you've got that drop in tourism already. But then you have the increased prices of Vegas, which used to be one of those vacations you could go on and you could like spend most of your money on like going to the casinos, and then you would get like free buffets or free drinks, so you weren't having to spend as much. But apparently like a lot of those perks are just not existing anymore. You know, people, I remember at one point I was thinking of going to Las Vegas, and they were talking about how cheap the hotel rooms were, and you could always get a deal at Expedia and blah, blah, blah. And it just doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It just doesn't seem to be the case. Not to mention you got the climate change and the increasing hot weather during the summertime. You know, you've got places like Florida and Las Vegas that are just like boiling over, are uncomfortable. Nobody wants to go and spend time in these extreme heat waves. So you have so many factors that are just bringing down the tourism. But people are saying that Las Vegas losing so much revenue and the emptiness and all that stuff is sort of the canary in the coal mine for tourism in general for the United States. But I mean, I've already done videos talking about this. Like, tourism is down. You know, you can just tell by the fact that so many states are putting out commercials, like specifically to Canadians, asking them to come back. You see news reports all the time that are talking about, like, there has been a major drop, so much so in Canada that airlines are cutting back on flights. Like, they are actually just outright canceling routes that are usually running during the summertime. So as you can see, like, this is not going away. Trump is causing problems. He is causing damage to the economy, and it's only going to get worse. Like, the more that he continues to run the United States like his own personal little, dictatorship, it's only going to get worse because people are not going to want to support that. Do you think there was mass friggin' tourism in Germany? Sure. No. People were scared. People were getting the fuck out. So it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. So I really hope with the midterms eventually coming up that people really think long and hard about whether or not they want to continue to have Republicans in power. Just saying.
All right, everybody, there you have it. Actually, Las Vegas and the tourism sector in the United States is actually, begging Canadians to come back. Yeah, there you have it, man. We told you so. You F around, now you're finding out. This is exactly what MAGA wanted. This is exactly what their delusional minds did not show them, because how did you think that you could have survived without tourism? Especially, for a state like Nevada, where Las Vegas City is actually located, that heavily depends on tourism, because everything else about Nevada is just arid. It's just a semi-arid place. It's a desert. The only attraction, the only economic product that they have is tourism in gambling. That is exactly what Las Vegas actually offers, gambling and the hookup culture. That is exactly what goes on in Las Vegas. We all know the saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, we can understand why as grown-ups. Now, the problem is the whole state actually, the state of Nevada, voted red. They did not anticipate this. For a man that was running a campaign on tariffs, a man that was actually running a campaign on mass deportation. Now, the thing is, Las Vegas is actually not having tourism because of a few contributing factors. Number one being, the cost of things going high. Prices of things in Las Vegas has skyrocketed. Things are not actually as cheap as they used to, as we have seen one creator, actually credit to the creators in this video, explaining these people used to go there to the casinos to actually gamble. You would actually pay for the gambling services and you'd get like a buffet of or drinks free. Now you ain't getting that for free. Even workers used to get 80 cents in tips. Now they're getting little than 10 cents in tips. That means that things actually are costing more than they used to. Now, in an economy that people can hardly actually afford to pay for a one-bedroom apartment in places like Chicago, and Cincinnati, Ohio, and various places, even New York, why would you go gamble your money, your hard-earned money that you're actually trying to economize in an economy that actually prices are going crazy? Everybody, especially the new generation, the Gen Z, nobody is interested in going to gamble their money. They don't have the excess anymore because a lot of cushioning systems have been cut. We all know that the government has cut Medicaid and Medicare. The government has cut systems that used to help people like food stamps and SNAP benefits. There is nothing to cushion you except your own little hard-earned money that you have to economize to be able to survive. So that is actually leading a lot of Gen Zs, a lot of today's generation to actually think twice before they go to places like Las Vegas to gamble their money. And for a state that actually depends on people coming and wasting their money, you should have thought twice before voting red. You should have thought twice before actually voting against your best interest. Number two is that tourism is actually collapsing and tourists aren't coming in anymore because of ICE raids. We have actually seen a lot of reports of tourists actually being harassed and arrested and deported back to their countries. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, and become a meme or become a topic in the media. Yeah, they would rather actually go and spend their money in other countries where they're welcomed and appreciated. So we're not seeing Canadians coming for summer holidays. We're not seeing, Europeans coming for summer holidays. Las Vegas, Nevada, and Miami, Florida, these are two states and cities that are actually heavily dependent on tourism that are suffering. The hospitality industry is suffering and having to lay off a lot of people. A lot of Americans actually are losing their jobs because they do not have tourists coming in anymore. They do not have people who are bringing in, foreign currency to come and spend in the United States, to the point where, some of these hospitality industries are actually trying to run ads to beg Canadians to come back to the United States. Well, you left around, you found out. MAGA actually thought that the United States could stand alone. They thought that, America was this big and greatest country in the world that everybody envies, and that could stand on its own and, punish all these people who are trying to rip it off. Well, newsflash. America does depend on the global economy, just like the global economy actually depends on the American economy. Well, let me know in the comments, guys, what's your opinion about today's episode. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. I'm your presenter, Joel Mugisha. Hit that like button. See you on the next episode. Peace out.